everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Happy Thursday! Welcome to part 2 of my Project Use Your Stuff video for this week. In this week's videos, I have been using one of the simple story collections that I have. I've showed it in Tuesday's video, and then I talked about it in the introduction for this project. If you're new here, new to my channel, hi, thank you so much for joining me. In 2024, I'm trying to use as much stuff as I can. I have things in my collection that haven't been touched, whether that's ink pads, whether that's stamps, whether that's, you know, markers or dies or paper. I really want to get use out of my collection in 2024, and I kind of created this project to help facilitate that. So you're welcome to join along. You just use your stuff. So you can tag me on Instagram, you can, join the Facebook group and post. Maybe I'll post a community post that you can share every month. You just have to let me know what you guys are interested in. I think, like I mentioned in Tuesday's video, there's been this push for consumerism, consume, and then there's not a whole lot pushing out. And I also think a lot of times that we kind of try to keep up with like these design teams and stuff, but they get free product. And it's hard to keep up with that. So let's get use out of what we have, and hopefully I will inspire you to do the same. So before we head over to the craft table, don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment. If you don't have anything else to say, just leave me a purple heart real quick. I would appreciate it. So yeah, all right, let's head over to the craft table and I'll walk you through the second set of these cards. All right, friends, so this is actually right after I finished the last set of cards that you guys saw on Tuesday. And if you missed it, I am doing what I'm calling Project Use It, or use your stuff, use it up, whatever. Anyway, my goal is to completely finish. I think I pulled out 4 or 5 paper pad kind of collections, and this is the first one I decided to work on. This is a Simple Stories collection from eons ago. I think it was called Magical Birthday, and I really kind of went, some of these are a little out there. Like, not my normal style, or I try to make them playful and fun, and ones that could be used for any age or any gender. So you're going to see all of that in this video. So I have a total of 5 cards for you. So all total, I made 9. I almost had one more, but I sat there for probably a good 45 minutes just trying to pick out paper, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to walk away. No one said I had to do 6, so you've got 9. These will be listed in the Etsy shop probably this weekend. I have been lazy. I still haven't even put away my Christmas background for photo taking, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do. The design teams I'm on want white backgrounds, and I can do that, but it's like, I don't know what I want to do for the rest. So we'll see. It's like you have to you don't want to use like too much that will distract from the cards. But at the same time, it's like, you also don't want them to be kind of plain. So I don't know. So I am just using leftover paper like I have been doing. I'm cutting this one down because I felt like it was kind of crooked, and I think I got it straight. But you can see there that I'm using a pattern paper, a yellow cardstock, and then a purple paper. And I'm going to get this adhered to one of the card bases. So there's white on the top and white on the bottom, but it's 5.5 inches wide. And this this is one of the ones that you saw me cut on Tuesday. And if you missed that video, that was 4 cards using this collection. And if you missed the original video where I mention it, be sure to check that out. I'll try to have it linked down below. So I went ahead and used a mixture of liquid glue and Scotch mounting foam for this. And the liquid glue is from Stamp Anything. The glue is great. It dries translucent, so there's no issue there. You guys know that I am not a huge fan of liquid glue, only because I get it everywhere. But at the same time, I am notorious for putting paper down crooked. And this tape runner is like, once it's down, it's kind of down. And I haven't been in the mood to tear things up. All right, so this card got started before, I didn't turn on the camera like I didn't hit record, and I didn't realize it until I went to stop it so I could go to the bathroom. So you can see here I've used 2 patterns of paper, and then I've put a pink cardstock strip down the middle, and then I've used a scalloped oval die to cut out this purple gingham, and we're going to be using the cake and the sentiment that says make a wish. And I played around with adding something else to it, but you know what? I really just kind of like it like this. I love this dot paper. This dot paper is actually from that Doodlebug paper. Yeah, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm adding some shimmer pen, and here we are on to the next one. So this one gave me a little bit of trouble. I knew I kind of wanted this vignette with how it looks right now, but I wanted to use the happy birthday banner instead. And this is one where I could not decide what I wanted on the back. So I put down this pink piece of paper. This pink paper is from Doodlebug. It's from one of their birthday ones that I'm working on. I can't remember what it's called. So I think these are supposed to be paper lanterns. I don't know. But I knew that I wanted to like have this rainbow and have it say happy birthday. And I felt like this was too flat. I felt like I needed something behind it. I felt like it was kind of getting lost, and I couldn't decide on a pattern to go behind. So again, you guys are seeing my design process it's sped up, but kind of in real time, where I just sat down and just kind of play. I believe I had 2.5 hours worth of footage for this video that I cut down to 22 minutes. Thank you very much. And as I've mentioned before, I have a camcorder, so I don't have to worry about, anything running out. I get about 5 hours out of my, what are these called? Scan disc. So I just sit down and play, and then I bring it in an iMovie and cut it all down. So, I just like doing it. That's how I like to do it. I just like to sit down and I like to play, and I go ahead and turn the camera on. That way you can see it. Now, sometimes I turn the camera on and things don't work out, and that footage just gets chunked. But a lot of times it does work out, and I appreciate it. So I went ahead and put the fans or whatever they are flat, and then I decided to adhere the banner, the happy birthday banner, to the very bottom of the rainbow so I could pop that up. So that's what I ended up doing. And I really liked Celebrate too, but I really liked the happy birthday banner more. I felt like the gold in the clouds of the rainbow was kind of competing with the gold of the Celebrate, and I just like how this looked a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and use, again, the Scotch foam to get this adhered. And the one thing that you need to know about this is you need to make sure that your paper is flat, because it can kind of make it warped. So I always make sure that I flatten it before I start adding this stuff to it, because again, it will make it warp. I keep a little bowl on my desk to put these little pieces in, and then once it gets full, I empty it in my trash can. That is just helpful for me and my husband, because I don't get those little bitty bits and then spread them all over the house. So I decided to go ahead and add these lollipops, and I really like the way it looks, and I'm going to bring in my shimmer pen because it's on a Misty card unless there's shimmer on it. Faux show. And that's that card. I really like how that one turned out. So yeah, so this is a different day. So the lighting's a bit different. I believe I had my new light kind of more over my desk, and I may do this again and kind of turn it down a little bit. So I'm just trying to figure out what I have left over. So I have, these pieces, and then I have the cards that I cut out in the last video. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do and what works, etc. And just kind of going by what I've already created. Because I wanted to be a little bit of cohesion, but at the same time, again, I just wanted to sit down and play. And I feel like that's what I did. I've mixed a couple of packs of paper here. I've got the one from Doodlebug. So like this grid paper is from Doodlebug. The other stuff is from the Simple Stories. So I highly encourage you to do that. Like if you have paper that are similar colors or similar tones and they're from different manufacturers, it's okay to mix paper, like 100%. And I will try to remember to do that going forward. The main thing about paper, as I've mentioned before, is like you want a small pattern, you want a medium pattern, you want a large pattern. By small, I mean either like tone on tone. So like this is that I'm about to cut out is pink dots on a pink background. Those flowers I would consider a big pattern, while those scallops I would consider a medium pattern. So it just is more pleasing to the eye. Now I decided to bring in some glitter, and I've shown you the paper, but look at how much glitter is in this bag. So I keep all of my cardstock scraps in their own bag, and then this is all my glitter scraps. Oh, dude. I left this in because I wanted you to be able to see just how much I have. And you can see I've kept some of the teeniest scraps for some things just because I really like the color and I didn't have any extra at the time. But this is why I started this whole project, because I have all of this stuff just sitting around and I want to be able to get it gone. And I'm really excited just how much of this collection I was able to use. And you'll see that again at the end of the video. So I'm just kind of fiddling around, looking at pieces that I have, trying to decide what I want to do. I knew that I wanted to bring in glitter. I knew that I wanted to bring in vibrant glitter that would go with this collection. And I'm just kind of putting papers aside, like the purple, the purple, the pink, the turquoise, all of the different colors, trying to decide. I thought that I wanted to use this circle that had been cut out. I used this to make an Olympic ring a few years ago. So I got this idea to make dots. And I wanted it to look like the paper that I had used. And then there's dots on one of the clip arts that I'm going to use. So I just used, this is a 1-inch hole punch. This is the only crafting punch that I own. I am not able to do this very often. But I got a 1-inch punch because sometimes you just want a little bit of something, right? So initially I was going to put this on a white background. And then I was like, you know what? No, I want to put this on black. I wanted it to be almost like my faux neon, because look how bright and vibrant these colors are. They're so pretty. I'm punching a bit more pink. That pink actually had adhesive sheet on the back of it, so I was able to use those as a sticker. So here I'm just kind of playing around with the layout, trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. And like I said, I end up deciding that I really want to use black. So I'm going off camera. I'm going through kind of what black pieces I have, and I'm pulling out some of them. Now this gold actually has the same embossing as that piece of black paper. So that black paper has been used a cover plate. It's the quilted cover plate from Honeybee Stamps. I love that. I use it all the time. So I went ahead and used a rectangle die to cut it out. And now I'm going to adhere my dots. And I'm going to use one of each color, and then I'm going to kind of offset them a little bit. And they kind of look like gumballs to me. I don't know. This card is probably my favorite out of the bunch, which is saying a lot because I made 9 different cards. But I really do love how this one turned out. I think it's the most unique one that I've done. And I was able to use literally scraps in a way that was fun and different. And again, just, using up stuff in my collection. And I'm really happy with this one. This would actually be one that I would remake. If I had any more of if I have some sentiments, if I find anything, this will be something I would remake. I feel like this would be really fun for spring. You won't see me making any Easter cards. I have the itch to do that, but you guys don't buy. You don't buy Easter cards. So, and I do try to sell my cards in my Etsy shop to have a little bit of extra income. That way I can buy new stamps and stuff to share with you guys. Hence why I'm doing this project Use It Up, because it's Echo Park is having a really good sale on paper. You can get 3 6x6 pads for $10. And I have loaded up a cart probably 4 times. I'm like, Misty, the last thing you need is paper. Walk away. Walk away. And then MFT, they have their 40% off sale, but the ones that I want, they don't have on sale yet. So if you didn't know, one of the owners of Clearly Besotted, I think she goes by Gentle Blade. I'm not sure. She left Clearly Besotted. I think they're sisters, and she went to MFT, and they have been releasing her like crazy. I think there's been like 4 stamp sets a month. I don't know how anybody is keeping up. So, yeah, just be aware. So I am bringing in a white card layer, and then I have this piece of pink and this polka dot paper, and I felt like this really grounded the black, but also gave me a third place where I had dots, because you can see there the gift bag had dots, I've created dots, and then the paper has dots. So again, I really feel like this is one of my favorites out of all the ones that I've made. I just think it's so much fun. Again, bright, vibrant. You guys know I love faux neon. It's probably one of my most favorite kind of techniques and color schemes. It's so unexpected, and I feel like that's really the fun part of it. So this is a Xyron adhesive eraser. I highly recommend you get one. It really does take off adhesive very well. I used it earlier to go over this because it had pieces and parts all over it, and I needed to get it off, so I used it. I'm going to get this adhered, and then we're going to get the rest of it adhered. So I've added some scotch again to the back, and I'm just cutting down little pieces so I can have some stability with the circle. And putting this on this way also gives me the opportunity to make sure they're really adhered in the back. And then I'm just going to use my scissors to kind of hide any pieces of it, adhesive that you can see, the foam tape. So I considered adding something else to the circle, and then I just kind of decided against it and went with the Let's Party. I really love it. I feel like this could be a birthday card, but this could also be like, I don't know, some other card. Listen, you don't come here for my commentary. You come here to see me make cards. Oy vey, welcome to my brain. Okay, so this striped paper is actually the back. You can see there. So this has been stitched. And a lot of times I wouldn't flip this paper, but you can barely see the stitching, so I was okay with it. So I did the trick where I'd adhered it to a piece of paper, and then I went ahead and cut around it. I'm going to have to make sure that I'm doing a better job of that because I feel like I don't get it even, but welcome to handmade cards, right? So I decided to bring in a purple and a yellow, and because I'm going to be using the cloud with the streamers and then the other gifts with this. I really, really loved this number paper. This is the only piece of it that I had left. It had purple on the back. So I went ahead and got that adhered on this extra piece of pink, and I'm just trimming it down. Again, all of this is from my stash. So this was the exact size almost of my rectangle die. So I'm going to use washi tape, which I always do, but I'm going to put the washi tape on the front of the die. That way I can line up the card from the back to make sure it's even and already have the washi tape there and ready to go. I find that this has been like the easiest way to do it. Here you can see I'm just doing that, and then I get this lined up, and then I can wrap the tape around and run this through my die cutting machine. That's a fun tip if you're like, how am I supposed to cut this when it's the exact same size? It's simple, quick, and easy, and for the most part, the washi tape comes off without damaging your paper as long as you do the trick where you put it behind your hand or tap it on your hand. So I have had this turquoise rectangle cut for years. I've probably had this now for like 2 years, and I'm like, Misty, use it. And I thought this was the best place to do it because we kind of have this color in the gift, we have this color in the paper, and then I think one of the streamers is actually this color as well. Of course, it's hard to see because that gold is so reflective, and my camera does not do well with reflection. Now, since this paper is a little textured, I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue. You want a strong adhesive, so liquid glue, tear tape, score tape, whatever you want to call it. If you have a really heavy-duty tape runner, you could do it, but I just feel like liquid glue works a little bit better. So I'm going to get this adhered to a card base. It's been a hot minute since I had that big of a, since I've had a 1/4-inch border on a white card base, let me tell you. So I'm going to go ahead and get this popped up, this panel popped up, and then we're going to bring in our little kind of vignette. So I'm using the banner that's going to go at the top, and I'm just trying to center it. And then I'm going to use the cake and some presents. What did I use? No, just some presents. I was like, wait a minute, did I use cake? One of them is going to be adhered flat, and the other one's going to be, or not flat, but one's going to be above the other. So I doubled up the adhesive on this pink one so it would be higher than the blue one. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and add some shimmer to the presents. And that's actually it. That's the last card. So I had so much fun with this collection. It's kind of kicking off the month of birthday. And here are the five that I made in this video. And then here's a look at all of them. I love this paper pad. I'm kicking myself that I didn't get 2, but it'll be all right. So here's a look of all that was left. I started with 6 full-size pieces, and you can see that we're down to some bits and bobs and scraps and etc. And I will get those used up soon. All right, friends, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to leave me a comment for engagement. I will see you Saturday for another video. Bye for now.